What's going on there, YouTube, and welcome back to another comic book video. Okay, so we are going to continue our coverage over the Evolutionary War, and we're going to pick up with part 3 of our coverage, and we do pick up with Silver Surfer Annual number 1. Now, remember, when it comes to the Evolutionary War, it's all about the idea that the High Evolutionary, this character, is trying his best to advance the human race into God-like beings. Now, the only reason why he's trying to achieve this goal is because when it came to the High Evolutionary, he was able to create counter Earth, another Earth on the other side of the sun, except it was taken away by the Beyonders. And when he went over there to get his Earth back, he met the Beyonders and realized how powerful they were. Now, when it came to the High Evolutionary, he was already a very powerful character. But meeting the Beyonders and realizing that he is nowhere on their level, it really did bother him a lot. And so his main goal is to find different things that are kind of slowing down the evolution of the human race, to hopefully get rid of those things, to hopefully advance the human race, but to also find some shortcuts as well. And the shortcuts also involve the Silver Surfer. Now, getting into today's video, we do pick up with the Eternals. Now, before we dive into their conversation with the High Evolutionary, I kind of want to remind you guys a couple things about them that is going to be important for later chapters in today's video. So when it came to the Eternals, we already know that they were created by the Celestials, and they were created hundreds and thousands years ago. But they were also created alongside with another group, and that would be the Deviants. Now, when it comes to the Deviants, unfortunately, they are looked at as the failures when it comes to genetics. Because here's the thing. Every single deviant is going to reach a point where they are going to completely lose their minds and begin to go crazy on a rampage, attacking their own people, but also other people around them as well. And most of the time, the Eternals have to step in and take care of those deviants. And that is why they're known as genetic failures. And so the Eternals are not known like that. They are known as a huge success when it comes to the Celestials. And so when it comes to the High Evolutionary, when he goes out of his way to meet with the Eternals, he said, listen, my goal is to advance the human race, and your goal is to protect the human race. Well, our goals align with one another. So why not try to help each other out to reach both of our goals? I want to also protect the human race, and you want to see us advance as well. So let's work together. And they agree. Except when it comes to the High Evolutionary, he says, before we are able to do anything at all, I need you guys to find the Silver Surfer, because we need to map his genetics. Now we do jump over to the Silver Surfer, and around this time he was on his way back to Earth because he was spending some time with Nova, who had also just recently became a Herald of Galactus. And him and Nova, well, they had a thing going on around this time in Marvel Comics. Homeboy was trying to get some love, but either way, they say their goodbyes because he's heading back to Earth and she has to return back to Galactus. Now, on his way back to Earth, and when he arrives to Earth, he realized something is happening to the Earth. Now, not the actual planet, but the radiation rings around the planet. And then out of nowhere, you have the return of the Super-Skrull. Now, when it comes to the Super-Skrull around this point in time in Marvel Comics, he was a big time villain for the Fantastic Four, a classic one. Now, he was altered in a way where he is able to use the abilities of the Fantastic Four. So, the Human Torch, the Invisible Woman, Mr. Fantastic, and the Thing. Now, the last time he was around, well, he was trying to go back to his home world. But unfortunately, he was turned into energy and stuck inside the radiation belt around the Earth. Now, he was able to escape the belt and go back to Earth. Except when he got back to Earth, he found out that he had cancer. Now, he did fight against Alpha Flight, and Sasquatch sent him back into the radiation belt until this point in time where he was able to break free. But here's the catch now. The cancer he had earlier is no longer around. And the question is, how is that possible? How are you able to be healed from cancer? Now, when it comes to the Silver Surfer, he tells us, the readers, that most likely it has to do with antimatter that's also inside the radiation belt that most likely healed him in his cancer situation. Now, with all that being said, you have the Super-Skrull attack Silver Surfer because no matter what, he looks at Surfer as an enemy. Now, Surfer realized that Skrull has been gone for a very long time, and so he has no idea what is currently happening with the Skrull race across the universe, especially when it comes to Galactus. But while you have the two characters fighting against each other, well, they are stopped by no other than the Eternals. Now, when it comes to the Eternals, they tell the Silver Surfer why they are there for. They say, hey man, listen, we are here to grab you because the High Evolutionary realize if we are able to map out your genetics, then most likely we can advance the human race in the right direction into God-like beings. Now, when it comes to the Silver Surfer, he says no, because he knows it is a bad idea to use his genetics as a way to advance the human race. Now, when it comes to Surfer, he loves the Earth. He loves the human race, and he wants to see the human race achieve greatness, but in their own way, not by using his own genetics. Now, we do learn something else very interesting, and that would be the Skrulls. See, you have the Eternals tell Super-Skrull that he is a deviant, meaning that the Skrulls are also a genetic failure when it came to the Celestial making different kinds of creations across the universe. Now, Super-Skrull cannot believe that, but apparently it is the truth. But you do have the Eternals take both Silver Surfer and Super-Skrull back to their base. Now, once you have the heroes arrive back to Earth properly, well, that is the moment you have the Eternals inform the Super-Skrull what has been happening to the Skrulls in their empire around this point in Marvel Comics. See, Galactus decided to eat the home world of the Skrulls, which then led them into being fractured into 5 different groups across the universe. But at the same time, they're still trying to win a war against the Kree. And so the Skrulls are really struggling around this point in time. And the Super-Skrull cannot believe what he is hearing, and he wants to leave to be there with his fellow brothers. But unfortunately, him and Silver Surfer are thrown into some kind of containers to begin tests on them. Now, while you have the Eternals running their tests on the Super-Skrull, Silver Surfer realized the tests are kind of harsh on Super-Skrull. And the reason why, because they were made to be used on a deviant who is from Earth, not from the Skrull home planet. And so you had a Surfer wanting to stop, but they don't want to stop. They want to know more about the Skrull deviant line to hopefully try to, well, fix it or to possibly stop it. And so you have Surfer saying, you know what? Enough is enough. If me and Skrull are able to use our powers together, then we'll be able to break free from these containers. There is something else I need to mention about the Skrull race. See, around his time in Marvel Comics, they also lost the ability to shapeshift. Except one person, the Super-Skrull, because he was gone for such a long time being stuck inside the radiation belt that now he has the ability to give his race what they have lost, to shape shift. And that is really huge. And that leads into the Silver Surfer saying, listen, when it comes to the High Evolutionary, I don't like what he is trying to do. See, when it comes to Surfer, he agrees that races should evolve over time, except they should evolve naturally on their own terms. When it comes to the High Evolutionary, he's not trying to do that. He's trying to rush things, and that is not okay at all. Now, when it comes to the Super-Skrull, is Surfer saying, no, you are different because you are going to help your race get back on track onto what they were when they were evolving, giving back the ability to shape shift. But either way, you had a Surfer kind of help the Eternals realize that, hey, you know what? This could most likely be a wrong thing to do to help him out. And this is where we are going to end today's comic book video. So please leave me a like down below and subscribe. But guys, see y'all next time. Later.